do that, and I just thought of it. But before we get started, let's take a moment and just arrive here, not just with our minds, but with our whole self. Wherever you're joining from, whether you're curled up with a little hot cup of tea, that would be like perfect here today. It's pouring down rain. If you're sitting quietly at your altar, or you're just taking a brief pause in the midst of what I'm going to call holiday season recovery, I'm honored that you're here. If it's possible, I'd love for you to turn your camera on for this session. I think most people have it on anyway, but I just feel like it helps us to connect more with each other. We are soul family. You are welcome here. You are accepted. You are absolutely worthy exactly as you are in this moment. So I invite you to dare to be fully seen. This gathering is special. We are taking our first steps into a year that carries initiatory fire. Threshold is a good word, Marriott. 2026 is a year unlike any other we've experienced in our lifetime. And I'm not just saying that, you're going to see how I mean it when we look at the astrology. But we're not just talking about astrology today, we're opening a threshold together. So before we begin, let's just take a few moments to ground ourselves. You are welcome to turn your camera off for the moment if you feel like that allows you to relax and release your mind a little bit more fully. And if wherever you're at, you're able to, I invite you to close your eyes and just gently place both of your feet on the floor. Let your spine lengthen. Let your breath soften into your belly. Let yourself just arrive fully into the seat that you're in. Inhale and exhale. Feel your energy settling, your nervous system loosening. Feel the earth beneath you holding you steady. In this space, you are free. For the next hour and 20 minutes, there is nothing that you need to fix or control or perform. Just be here, be present, breathe. And now with your eyes still closed, I want you to imagine the horizon just before sunset. The sky is dark, quiet, full of potential. You're standing at the shoreline of your own life. The water still, the air cool, the world waiting. And far out on the horizon, you see it. The faintest spark of light beginning to gather. This is the Phoenix dawn, the first ember of your 2026 story. Let this image appear in whatever way your intuition shows it. A glow, a sound, a feeling, a presence. You don't have to force anything. Just notice what naturally rises. And now imagine that the light on the horizon expands. Not the sun, but a magnificent phoenix rising through the dawn. Wings aflame with purpose, eyes bright with clarity, a heart ignited with courage. The phoenix is not here to burn you down. The phoenix is here to activate you, to awaken the parts of you that have been waiting. Feel its warmth, feel its fire, feel its presence arriving on your behalf. And now allow the phoenix to turn its gaze toward you, not judging, not demanding, but recognizing you. It sees your strength, it sees your devotion, it sees the truth of who you are becoming. Let yourself receive that recognition and silently or aloud repeat after me. As 2026 dawns, I'm willing to rise into the truest version of myself. I'm willing to cross this threshold consciously. I'm ready for my initiation. Feel those words in your chest, in your belly, in your field. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to be true. Take one more slow breath, and when you're ready, gently return to this present moment, carrying the warmth and clarity of the Phoenix with you. Open your eyes, turn on your cameras. This is our starting place. Let me just get oriented again here for a second. I'm going to make sure I can see the chat. And I believe we have a few more people who popped in with us here. So I just want to say good morning to Melanie. And anybody else? Erin. Good morning, Erin. Yeah, awesome. Wonderful to see you guys here. So I got a lot of things open on my screen now. Let's see if we can find the right one so that we can carry on here. All right, now that we're all back, take a breath and imagine this. You're standing at the very edge of time. Behind you, a long corridor, all the years you have lived. Each one has been teaching, shaping, unraveling, and rebuilding you. Before you, there's a horizon shimmering with a fire you have not yet walked through. And we're not standing at the threshold of just another year. We're standing at the threshold of an era right now. And some thresholds are quiet, but this one is alive. Perhaps you can feel it, sense it, that subtle pressure in the field, a tingling of expectancy, a whisper that's saying something is ending, something is beginning, and you're meant to be part of it. Before we carry on, I see Barb saying that, or Marion saying that Barb is trying to log in. And so let me see here. Marion, do you know, is she like needing the meeting ID or is she needing something like that on her end to log in maybe? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put the meeting ID and the passcode in the chat, and then maybe you can share that with her, Marion.
Looks like she's in, Kali.
Oh, good, good, good. Excellent. Cool, cool. Welcome, Barb. Wonderful to have you here again. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so let's hop back here. Sorry, I think I brought up my Zoom screen. Sorry, so boring. Try to just make sure everybody's taken care of here. Yay, Marion's on. Okay, Marion's on, Barb's on, yay. Okay, for many of us, the past year, or maybe even the past few years, have felt like a dismantling, or identities, relationships, structures, beliefs, even maybe your dreams. They just had this sense of they were permanent, or they were real, or they were true, and now something has shifted and something feels different. All of this hasn't been random. Our old cycles have been dissolving over the last year and few years, just kind of depending on where you are in your journey. Old versions of ourselves have been shedding. Old timelines have been closing. And that might have made you feel things like tired, restless, uncertain, maybe even kind of unanchored. because who you were is no longer who you are becoming. We've been in the corridor between stories, the space where the old chapters fade, but the new ones haven't yet revealed themselves. 2026 is the moment that the new chapter begins to write itself. So different kind of energy. Across cultures and mythologies, there are years when the element of fire returns, not as destruction, but as awakening. We are in a fire year. Fire clarifies, fire catalyzes, fire reveals what is true. In 2026, the collective fire returns not to burn everything down, but to ignite what has been dimmed or dormant. And the fire is returning to your voice, your purpose, your vitality, your passion, your courage, your sacred ambition. And it's the kind of fire that says, you have been preparing for this. All that shedding was not loss, it was initiation. And so we arrive at the mythic heart of the year, the Phoenix Dawn. In the ancient stories, the phoenix does not rise only from ash. It rises from water and ash, the union of emotional truth and purified power. How cool is it that we just had the full moon yesterday in the water sign of Cancer? It's like perfect. Water dissolves what has been. Fire awakens what is next. 2026 is that moment of emergence when the phoenix lifts itself from the shoreline of your life and spreads its wings into a new sky. Imagine the wings, golden, luminous, vast. Imagine the heat on your skin, not scorching, but strengthening. Imagine the light illuminating parts of you that have gone unseen or unclaimed so far. The phoenix does not rise because it's ready. It rises because its time has come. So if you don't quite feel ready, it's okay. And in 2026, that's you. You rise not as the person you were, but as the soul that you were always meant to grow into. This is the year of sovereign truth, sacred leadership, creative fire, courageous reinvention, and stepping into visibility with your whole, authentic self. This is the year the phoenix inside of you stops waiting. And as it rises, you rise with it. Before we move into the astrology of this year, I want you to feel into it first. 2026 is not something that's happening to you. It's something happening through you. It's your initiation, your emergence, your dawn. This is the mythic landscape that you're walking into. And now let's explore the forces that will shape this year. Ta-da! This is the first one, the year of the fire horse. And we're going to look at that first before we get into astrology and planets and transits and all that, because it's very intuitive. You can feel into this one really easily. 2026 is the year of the fire horse. And even if you know absolutely nothing about Chinese astrology, your body already understands this archetype. I'd love to hear, in fact, type it in the chat, any words that arise from this symbol for you. How does it feel to you? What comes up in your mind, in your body? Karen says powerful movement. Yeah, absolutely, right? Horses are something we absolutely associate with movement. And I think of like forward motion. Melanie says illuminating. Yeah, fire, right? Fire is super illuminating long before we had the light bulb, right? Let's see, we got unstoppable courage and power from Aaron. Yeah, I like that. Power and strength from Jennifer. Quantum leap. Ooh, yeah, I like that, Sarah. That's nice. Excellent. Strength. Yeah, absolutely. Horses are strong. Knowing and trusting the strength. Yeah, I really like that, Angela, especially because I think about, horses and like the partnership that we have with them as humans, and we do have to trust them, right? Powerful energy, power, renewal, energetic. Yeah, I mean, you guys are all over it, right? And the fire horse, the leap. Ooh, I like that too, Aya, especially like in this image, right? The horse is leaping, and we do think of horses in that capacity, right? We even like train them to do that. Okay, so the fire horse is rare, it's powerful, it's untamed, destiny oriented. It's one of the most dynamic archetypes in the entire Chinese zodiac cycle. And did you know there's actually 60 years in the Chinese zodiac cycle? We think of 12, but there's also 5 elements. So this is a horse year, yes, and it's a fire horse year. So that makes it, more distinct. It means this hasn't happened in most of our lifetimes. I don't know if we have anybody 60 plus on here, but even if we do, my guess is you are quite young. The last time there would have been a fire horse year. So this is energy that we're stepping into that feels really new. Fire horse is courage in motion, power with purpose, spirit that cannot be confined. Oh, you were born in a fire horse year, Jennifer? Are you sure it's fire? Interesting. I have to look. I have to look. It should go in a full cycle, but I'm not Chinese astrology specific either. Yeah, it's a 60-year cycle, but yeah, I'll look into that. It's a good question. Um, courage in motion, power with purpose, spirit that cannot be confined, momentum ignited from within, destiny that accelerates the moment you say yes. Across cultures, the horse is a symbol of freedom. Oh, is that true, Kimberly? Tina Turner was a fire horse? Oh, that tells you everything. No, she's a horse. Yeah? No. She's not gonna...
Golden Dragon, same thing with 60 years.
Oh, Golden
So
Dragon.
our
Yeah.
youngest was is a golden dragon, and every 60 years, like you said, with the horse.
Yeah. I'm a fire dragon too, so yeah. um Across cultures, the horse is a symbol of freedom, instinct, movement, and personal sovereignty. And when fire is added, something shifts. The horse becomes not just a traveler, but a path maker. Not just a mover, but a catalyst. Not just a carrier of messages. Horses are often thought of as messengers in mythology, but they become with the fire a carrier of destiny. And the fire horse, very interestingly, this archetype appears everywhere. In mythology, the fire horse is the creature that runs between worlds. In shamanic traditions, it's the animal that carries the soul toward its purpose. Aaron, dogs are awesome. What are you talking about, Aaron? Womp womp. No, we wouldn't want just fire horses. In folklore, it's said that the fire horse arrives with when a new destiny timeline opens. So some examples, I just love, to throw this kind of stuff out, and I apologize if I'm getting too nerdy for you all. But I think it's so interesting. The cultural fire horse shows up in all these different civilizations over time, which is fascinating to me. And I do have a handout about it. If you're interested, let me know. You can, send me an email or a DM or whatever. So a few of them to just introduce you to. Kolima is the Korean 1,000-mile fire horse. Helios, the solar horses from Greek mythology, they were the ones that pulled Apollo's chariot across the sky. Sure, Barb, I will be happy to send it to you. Okay, let me see if I can say this right. Uchchai Shravas from Vedic mythology. Kimberly's a velveteen wabbit. I like that. The shamanic wild horse is from Tibetan and Mongolian mythology. The Celts have actually water horses, but they are elemental, and I think that's related. They're called Ushkia, and the Japanese have a fire horse called Hino-uma. And in the Slavic tradition, there's a fiery stallion called Sviatogor. We have Pegasus, the winged horse born from divine union. Its wings contain solar fire. So there's just a lot of references across world cultures and mythology is fascinating. So, what does this fire horse energy mean for you and for me? 2026 is going to begin with a surge, an inner push that says, move, act, trust your instincts, stop waiting. This is a year where courage comes more easily. Independence feels natural and necessary. Momentum builds rapidly once you get going. Opportunities appear when you step toward them. Your destiny lines open when you choose yourself. The fire horse doesn't ask you to be reckless, but it does ask you to be awake and to be willing and to answer the call when it arrives. This year is not random. It's arriving at the exact moment when the world and your own life are ready for this bold movement. The fire horse is the ignition energy of our Phoenix dawn. And now we're going to get into the astrology part. So we're coming to what I'm calling the era shift. And for astrologers, this is actually the true cosmic headline of 2026. On February 20th, Saturn and Neptune are coming together at 0 degrees of Aries. That is the very first degree of the entire zodiac. It represents the first spark, the first breath, the first fire. And this is not just any transit that happens every day, every year. This is the birth of a new era, the moment of the Phoenix dawn. Saturn and Neptune meet each other only once every 36 years. And that's kind of impressive, right? As far as rare astrological events. But get this, they have not met at 0 degrees Aries, the very beginning of the zodiac, for about 6,000 years. I mean, that you can't even really wrap your head around that. And the point is, 0 degrees Aries is representing identity, emergence, the spark of creation, the start of a new collective cycle. So Saturn and Neptune meeting here. It means that we're standing at the end of an old dream and the beginning of a completely new identity cycle, both collectively and personally. Neptune is the energy of dissolving. Saturn is the energy of crystallizing. So together they reshape reality. For the past 15 years, Neptune has been in its native sign, that's Pisces. It's been dissolving old spiritual frameworks, old illusions, old fantasies, old versions of meaning. And at the same time, Saturn has been in Pisces, but just since 2023, moves faster than Neptune, testing our foundation, what's real, what's true, what we can actually build long-term sturdy structures with. And when these two planets meet at 0 degrees Aries, the message is clear. The old dream is over. The old identity is complete. The old story has run its course. This is the cosmic exhale at the end of a long cycle of confusion, sacrifice, disorientation, spiritual fog. And in that same moment, a new dream or vision begins. I know there's a couple things in the chat here, so I'm going to check. Aaron says, how many years? How many years since Saturn and Neptune have met each other? 36. How many years since they've met each other at 0 degrees Aries? 6,000-ish. Some astrologer had to do some heavy work to figure out the last time that they actually came together at 0 degrees Aries. So in that sense, like very much a totally new era beyond, all human recorded history. Yeah. So this is a new identity template that opens. Oh, I missed Melanie's comment. Let me see. Cool transit for my brother's solar return, who was also born in a fire horse year. Okay, so interesting, because it must be that the Chinese zodiac doesn't go in a straight 60-year cycle. I got to learn about that. I have to look into it. I'm not a Chinese astrologer, as you can tell. But it's that's cool. Okay. So yeah, a new identity template is opening, a new era ignites, a new story becomes available. One that is rooted in purpose, authenticity, embodiment, and sovereign truth. Ah, there you go, Jennifer. 1966 was the last fire horse year. All right. So anybody else born in 66, you're a fire horse. So this is your year. And Jennifer, that's, something for you to think about. This conjunction is the moment where your internal compass turns on. Your intuitive clarity sharpens. Your personal identity begins to realign with your soul's truth. This is the first fire of the zodiac, the spark that lights a new path. This is why 2026 is an initiation year. This conjunction is the cosmic match that is lighting our Phoenix dawn. It's the moment when your soul says, I'm ready to rise into who I truly am. You don't have to know how yet. You don't have to fully feel it yet. Just trust that you will, because this is the kind of transit that changes the collective narrative and the personal one. If you know your natal chart, I encourage you to look and find out, where is 0 degrees Aries sitting for you? What house is it in? Because this is going to tell you what area of your life is going to feel the most energy from this particular astrological configuration this year. And if you're not really sure, like, how would I figure that out? Or you would like some help to interpret, well, what does it mean? Stay tuned. I will tell you at the end how I can help you. I am going to be doing some personal sessions for Phoenix Dawn. And in fact, I'll be giving some away. So I would love to assist you in making this more personal. But let's carry on. So this is the second big cosmic shift this year. It's one of the most practical if we're looking at entrepreneurs. Maybe it's one of the most important shifts of the year. On April 26th, Uranus is going to be moving fully into Gemini, and it's going to stay in the sign of Gemini until 2033. So it's going to be there for 8 years. 7 years? 7 years. There's my math. Gemini is the sign of communication. It's the sign of your voice and learning and connection and ideas. So while we have Saturn and Neptune coming together at 0 degrees Aries and creating this cosmic initiation, Uranus in Gemini is your new operating system. This is what we're going to begin running this year. You could think of it like a OS upgrade. Uranus is going to bring us breakthroughs, revelations, awakenings, new ways of thinking, new ways of communicating. It disrupts what's stale or outdated, and it's not to create chaos, but it's actually giving us a new level of freedom. Gemini is the domain of voice and mindset, ideas, connection, learning, messaging, and when Uranus enters that sign of Gemini, these areas are going to be lighting up with innovation and clarity and fresh expression. This is the year that you find your new voice. And it's not the voice you learn to use. It's not the voice you were trained to use, but it's that voice that is aligned with who you are becoming. So you might notice things like new ideas dropping in out of seemingly nowhere, sudden clarity about your message or your mission, a desire to communicate more boldly or differently, a shift in how you share your work, new platforms, new mediums, or new audiences that are calling you, a craving for learning, freedom, and intellectual stimulation. And for entrepreneurs, especially my friends, the heart-centered ones, this is really powerful energy for you to work with. Your messaging can evolve, your branding can freshen up, your words may soften, or they might sharpen. Your voice may reveal a deeper truth or a truer tone. And this is the most important key. Authenticity is far more magnetic than perfection ever could be. Keep that in mind. Be yourself. And then that, just like we said, where's 0 degrees Aries in your chart, it's also nice to know, where is Gemini in your chart? Where is the beginning of Gemini in your chart? What house is that in? That would be the area where you're going to feel this energy most. Again, I can help you if you would like in figuring that out. As a collective, we're stepping into new paradigms of learning, new ways of sharing information, new forms of connection, new technologies and communication tools. New voices are going to be emerging into leadership. Maybe it's yours. Uranus in Gemini says, speak, share, experiment, try the thing you've been thinking about. Your voice matters now more than it ever has before. In the Phoenix Dawn year, Uranus is handing your soul a microphone. So this is where your message evolves and your voice rises. Next big thing for 2026, this comes in the summer. We've got one of the brightest, most expressive chapters of the year coming in. That's at the end of June. On June 29th, Jupiter, that's the planet of expansion and confidence and growth, is going into the sign of Leo, the sign of creativity, visibility, leadership, and the radiant heart. So if you've been dimming your light, or you've been holding back, or you've been waiting for somebody to give you permission, this is where the universe turns the spotlight on for you. You got the microphone from Gemini, now you got the spotlight from Jupiter and Leo. Jupiter and Leo is expanding your creativity, your visibility, your confidence, your self-expression, leadership, courage, audience, heart-centered embodiment. I feel like that's the most important piece of that, heart-centered embodiment. This is the kind of energy that says, step out onto the stage, lead with your gifts, create with abandon, shine because it's time. For entrepreneurs and leaders, this is where your message grows its legs and its wings, and your work begins to reach more people. Your creative fire gets stronger. Your self-trust deepens. This is soul-led Leo, the part of you that knows your presence is a blessing. Your voice is a medicine, and your purpose is meant to be seen. And then a little bit later in July 20th, there's going to be a little moment of what I'm going to say intensity. We've got Jupiter now in Leo, forming an opposition to Pluto that's in Aquarius at 4 degrees. And it's part of a larger pattern in the chart that also includes Neptune and Uranus, which we already talked about. So it's kind of a whole power group getting together and creating kind of a test for us. It's not a block, it's not a setback. However, it could have a feeling of like slamming into a pothole that you're like, oh, where did that come from? You know, it's the kind of moment that tests you, but ultimately it's about strengthening what you're building. So at that moment, you might feel a surge of ambition. There could be like a confrontation with an old fear that you have or an old pattern that you're breaking out of. It could be a moment where you decide to stop playing small, where you just have that that fire in yourself that says, nope, I'm moving on. Could be an invitation to choose your sovereignty over approval, an opportunity that arises that gives you that opportunity. A truth rising that cannot be ignored. So don't fear it. Just know that it's something to be met in that moment. It's the moment that says, if you want to rise, you have to choose your power. Nobody's going to hand it to you, right? Jupiter in Leo will grow your light, and the July power test is going to strengthen your backbone. In 2026, your creative fire, your visibility, and your leadership, they're not optional anymore. They're part of your soul's unfolding. And as with the other planetary alignments that we've already covered, it's really helpful to know where this energy is going to meet you most directly. Pinpointing which house that Leo's cusp is sitting in your chart, any planets also that that are in Leo. So if you're like a Leo sun or you're a Leo moon or you're a Leo rising, you know, this is all the more important for you. Also, people who have planets in the other 3 fixed signs will be strongly impacted. Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius. Those will all get lit up by Jupiter's contact with Leo. So it's good to know what's in your chart personally. Moving into the next piece of this, I'm going to start talking about what is coming to us quarter by quarter. We've seen there's kind of 4 major currents that are shaping in 2026, but we'll drop into the rhythm of the year by looking at what's coming to us quarter by quarter. It's 2026 is a year that's not going to unfold for us all at once. It's not all immediately here and accessible to us in this moment on January 4th. It is arriving in chapters, just like every great myth does, every sacred initiation, every Phoenix story. It unfolds step by step. So each season is going to have its own tone, its own teaching, its own turning point for you. And just like the hero's journey, 2026 carries us through a threshold, a revelation, a trial, and then a moment of profound integration. So to make this energy usable, not abstract, not overwhelming, we're going to just walk through it quarter by quarter. And I'm not just going to give you a list of dates because that would be totally boring, but we'll do this as a continuation of our mythic journey so that you can actually feel yourself in the energy. This is where the astrology becomes personal. Even though we're speaking at the collective level, you'll start to sense when you're going to expand, when you'll recalibrate, and when visibility rises, when healing deepens, when your Phoenix wings get their truest strength. I am going to throw a lot of key dates and details at you in the next few slides, so I want to put this out here first. It's how you can get in touch with me. And so I encourage you, as we go through these next slides, you're welcome to take a photo or a screenshot of each one so that you can go back and review this information as you proceed through the year. I'm also more than happy to send you the slides, and I can do that by email after today's session. So, give me a heads up if you would like today's slides. These are all the ways you can get in touch with me. So I am very accessible and I love to get to know everybody. And I like to think at least that I'm very personable. So don't hesitate to reach out because I would love to get to know you. And then let's keep going. Let's step into the story of the Phoenix journeys. Phoenix Dawn's soul hero journey. So this is the first quarter. We're just stepping into that now. We're calling this quarter Crossing the Threshold. This first quarter is the opening of our portal, the moment in the soul hero's journey where the old identity is loosening its grip and something new is beginning to stir inside you. Key energies in this quarter, January 26th, that's the first one coming up. Neptune is returning back into Aries. Neptune was in Aries briefly last year in 2025, and it's going to be making its way fully and finally into Aries and will stay there until 2033. This is the collective dream resetting itself. This is the new myth beginning to write itself. Then on February 17th, we have the official beginning of the Fire Horse year. That's the Lunar New Year, celebrated in China and India and other parts of Asia. Simultaneously, it's very interesting to me that we have this Lunar New Year happening on the very same date as an annular solar eclipse this year that's going to be happening in Aquarius. So it becomes a very powerful day with a lot of energy coming in all at once. And that makes it the ignition spark of the year. So kind of have quiet few weeks here to sort of incubate and cocoon and prepare ourselves internally before things sort of break open fully at the end of February or late February. So an eclipse in Aquarius, what is that about? That would be breaking up patterns, liberating identity, opening up new timelines for you. This eclipse says you're no longer who you were. It's time to step forward. And meanwhile, the year of the Fire Horse officially begins with this electrified eclipse new moon. That's courage awakening, quickening pace for sure, and destiny leaning into you. Right on the heels of that, it's like two-step style. We've got February 17th and then February 20th, bringing in that Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries, that once in a 6,000 year initiation. That's the archetype of the new era. Divine architect meets divine dreamer. Reality infusion, creating something totally new together, something we've never seen before. But hold on to those fire horses, because we're going to hit the first Mercury retrograde of the year on February 25th. It's 3 weeks generally for Mercury retrograde. So February 25th to March 20th, we will see Mercury moving from Pisces back into Aquarius. And what is that about? You don't run for it all at once. You get to refine the dream that's coming in. And this retrograde is going to be asking, what story am I stepping into? What assumptions am I releasing? Right in the middle of that Mercury retrograde, the second half of the eclipse will come in, because eclipses always come in pairs. So March 3rd, we have a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And this is bringing in a cosmic broom, sweeping away old expectations, perfectionism, over-efforting, all the shoulds that you have in your field. Get rid of those. That's not the energy we're working with. So Q1 is the inner commitment phase. Not so much about action, not so much about performance or launching something big. It's the moment where you want to choose your new timeline, release old self-concepts that might be holding you back at this point, clarifying what is your true why, and committing to your authentic path. It's like the beginning of a marathon. We're not doing a sprint here, we're doing a marathon. So we want to pace ourselves. And so it's okay that Q1 starts a little bit softly for us, because we're going to be ramping up. So as we move into Q2, this is April to June, now it's about finding your new voice. If Q1 is the initiation, then Q2 is where your new frequency is becoming audible to you. First yourself, right? You get a little practice, and then to the world. So the key energies in this quarter are going to be on April 26th, we have Uranus moving fully, finally into Gemini. The cosmic broadcaster, switching channels. That's a good way to think of it. This is a revolution in your thinking, your messaging, your communication, how you learn and share your wisdom. This is where your voice is actually beginning to shift in real time. And we did have a foretaste of this energy in 2025. Uranus has now retrograded back into Taurus, but it was in Aries briefly in 2025. So we've had a little taste of this energy, but it's coming back more fully, more forcefully in 2026. So remember, this fast-paced electric energy is going to be with us all the way until 2023. So guess what? You don't have to develop this new voice in 2 months, 3 months. You actually get years to work with this. So this is just the beginning. June 29th brings us Jupiter entering Leo, that spotlight returning, leadership becoming magnetic, creative fire surges. You're beginning to feel this inner push of, I'm ready to be seen. By the way, Jupiter will be in Leo for about a year. Jupiter spends about 1 year in each sign. So that's our leadership spotlight focus coming in for the year. Q2 is the ramp up that's going to lead us into what I'm going to call the full roar of summer, because we're going to be really into Leo energy. This is a quarter of experimentation and new ideas. Q2, that is. So think of it as, open, go into it with a playfulness, go into it with a curiosity. It's not a lot of pressure in Q2, so have fun with it. It's a good time to refresh your brand voice. It's a good time to practice new forms of visibility. It's a good time to rewrite old identity scripts and explore new collaborations. Let your curiosity lead. Think of Q2 as the messenger awakening. Your voice becomes your vessel for the rising Phoenix energy within you. And then we move on to Q3. This is probably the most energetic, powerful part of the year. We did have that initiatory pop there in February, but we really get into it in Q3. I'm calling it the Trial of Power and the Lion's Gate. So this is the real action chapter of 2026, and it's coming with a test meant to strengthen you. Again, don't get discouraged, don't get confused. This test, it's not intended to stop you. This quarter does open kind of slowly because we have our second Mercury retrograde forming, and that's going to run from June 29th to July 23rd. Retrogrades are always the opportunity to revise. And so, as you've been playing with your voice in Q2, you kind of get that entry into Q3 to kind of revise that even more. Not silencing you, but just refining it, making sure it's pure, making sure it's fully your truth that's coming forth. July 20th, that Jupiter in Leo opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, the big power test, expansion, that's the Jupiter word, meets intensity, the Pluto word. Not blocking you. Think of it like it's forging you. It's making you stronger, teaching you how to learn, teaching you how to hold more visibility and how to stay sovereign with yourself, how to wield your power without shrinking or without overreaching. And then we enter August, and that's going to be the second eclipse season of 2026. So 2026. So that starts with a total solar eclipse in Leo on August 12th. It's going to be a really powerful extension of the Lionsgate energy this year. We get the Lionsgate every year on August 8th, but this year it's followed closely by this eclipse that is also in Leo. So this is the Phoenix moment of visibility. A new identity of leadership is born. Massive timeline jump for entrepreneurs and creators and light workers. This period, like right around the 8th to the 12th, really good timing for like a big launch, a big announcement, something like that. So I would say like put a note on your calendar because that would be a really good time, energetically speaking, to boost some huge new initiative that you're putting out into the world. And then on August 27th, we have a partial lunar eclipse, so the second eclipse in this season. It's going to be in Pisces, so very much about emotional clearing after we've had this very energetic, revelatory, like July into earlier August or most of August. A lot has been going on. So when that happens and a lot of new energies coming in all at once, some things can be misaligned, and this eclipse gives us a really nice opportunity to dissolve anything that isn't supposed to stick. Q3 is the quarter of expanding courage. So it's inviting you to step into larger arenas, to claim your sacred leadership role, rewrite your visibility wounds, and embody the creative fire of the Phoenix. Staying grounded while rising. So from July through September, think of it like the Phoenix is testing its wings and realizes that it can fly higher than it ever knew. And whew, if you're not exhausted yet, you'll be happy to know that Q4 is a recovery quarter for sure. So we move out of all the intense energy into integration, refinement, and sacred completion in Q4. So all these breakthroughs that have been happening in Q3, now we have Q4 coming in where the Phoenix learns how to soar with mastery, not just momentum. And we have a bunch of retrograde energy to support that. No major transits, but Venus will be in retrograde. October 3rd to November 14th, Venus retrogrades about once every 18 months, and it's about heart realignment. So all of that energy that's been released, now we're sort of reorganizing it, realigning it to fit with our heart. And what's most true and valuable for us. So there's two phases to the Venus retrograde. Venus is going to start the retrograde in Scorpio. So think of that like the descent. This is the heart's confrontation with truth. Themes that will arise are around intimacy wounds, financial fears that you're hanging on to, or financial entanglements that are holding you back, emotional power dynamics, worthiness and vulnerability questions, any kind of unprocessed grief or unmet needs that need to be worked out, outdated soul contracts. all this shadow stuff, right? This is the Phoenix going into the shadow because it needs to reclaim lost parts of itself. And yes, that's heavy, but it's also necessary for us to do that kind of deep digging, deep diving work from time to time. So that's opening up an opportunity for us, even if it feels kind of like, ick, I don't want to look at that stuff. And Venus will not be staying in Scorpio that whole time. It's actually giving us two halves to make a whole here. So it will move from Scorpio into Libra, and that will shift things quite a bit. So in the second half of the Venus retrograde, we get more of a rebalancing going on. Libra is very much about balance. So once Venus is in Libra, the alchemy looks like harmony restored, relational recalibration, choosing balanced partnerships, clearing up creative misalignments, rediscovering our own inner beauty, our own self-worth, reconnecting with our values. This is the Phoenix re-emerging from the shadow, lighter and clearer and feeling brighter. And if like that didn't feel like enough for you, right in the middle of it, we're also going to have a Mercury retrograde come in and join this recalibration party. So, this fourth quarter is just all about review and revision and rethinking and reworking. So, Mercury retrograde runs from October 24th to November 13th. This is going to be a deep mind excavation. So again, Scorpio is about going deep, and Mercury is about the mind. So the themes are psychological clarity, uncovering hidden truths, disillusion of old mental patterns, shadow conversations, breaking silence, transforming internal narratives. Venus is all about clearing the heart. Mercury is all about clearing your psyche. So they're working together as this whole soul level reset for you. No eclipses, no major transits, just Q4 all about review energy and stabilizing things. It's kind of a nice exhale to wrap up what is going to be quite a big year. Your chance to integrate the year, stabilize this new identity that you're bringing online, choose the aligned relationships, because as your identity shifts, so does the relationships that work best for you and serve you. It's all about purifying your motives and your desires and your decisions. And then all of that retrograde stuff is done by December. So we're going to end up with a really nice, quiet December in 2026 for consolidation and grounding everything that we've gained in 2026, choosing what we're going to carry on with us to 2027. The wisdom that has been gained through the whole year is now crystallizing for us. So think of Q4 as the integration chapter for the Soul Hero's journey, the season of descent and rebalancing, and finally integration. And the quarter will bring in for you truth and maturity, emotional sovereignty, relational clarity, nice final shedding, choosing what the Phoenix carries into the next era. It's completion with power. Wow, right? Lots of stuff going on there. So much. And I know it's a lot to hit you with quickly. So as I said, I can send you the slides if you didn't take pictures. So don't feel like, oh my God, I didn't catch all that. And again, we're in the first week of January, and it's easy to get overwhelmed, but try to think of this as it's going to be naturally unfolding for you. And keep in mind that the Phoenix Dawn energy is not going to land the same way for everyone. If you want to understand how this fire, this momentum, this initiation year is going to move through your life specifically, not a theoretical thing, not a general thing, but through the actual architecture of your chart, for a limited time, because it doesn't make sense after a point. For a limited time, I'm going to be offering this personalized 2026 energetic calibration, and that is the Phoenix Dawn alignment session. So it's going to be a 60-minute deep dive into how these major transits and eclipses and retrogrades of 2026 are going to activate your planets, your houses, your life themes. I am going to share my screen again here so that you can see how to get to book that one-on-one session if that's something that you would like to do. So as I said, it's going to be a 60-minute deep dive. We're going to explore the major 2026 transits, how they land in your chart, which planets and points are being awakened or challenged, how the eclipses are going to open new timelines or close old chapters for you, what the retrogrades are asking you to refine or realign, your key opportunities, your timing windows, your initiation points, all the exact places where your Phoenix is rising this year. So I would love to do that with you. My 1 hour sessions are usually $250, but if you're on this call today, I am going to offer it for $188. I did that with my first group as well, but you have just 24 hours. So, if you're feeling it, do it. It's going to be a really good way to get you oriented more personally. And for those of you who feel the call to understand how this 2026 energy is shaping you, the portal is open. I can also put the link in the chat so that you don't have to screenshot it if you don't want to. I will do that really quick. Let's see, there we go. So that's another way you can get to that page and book it directly. So with that, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to give away 3 of these Phoenix Dawn sessions. So let's see who is still on the call here, because I think you should be present to win it, right? I'm going to pull up my wheel of names here. Are you guys able to see the wheel? Yeah, okay, good. Let me make sure everybody's on here and we don't have extra people on here. So let's see here. Kimberly is with us. Angela is with us. Marlena, I see you. Jennifer, yes. Aaron is with us. I don't think Jaylene is here, right? Nope. Okay, so we'll take her off. And Robin is with us. And let's see, Diana, yep. And Karen, sorry guys, just bear with me because I don't want to miss anybody. Karen, let's see, Bernadine. Yep, Bernadine is still here. Melanie is here. Maria, she was here earlier. Yep, I see her. And Marion, yes. And Aya, yep. And Heather. And then, oh, I see Dwayne joined us. Let me add him in here. And who else?
He's on there twice now, just FYI.
Oh, okay, Dwayne can't be on there twice. Did I miss anybody? I don't hear anybody saying you missed me, so I think we're in good shape. I think we're in good shape. All right, let's spin the wheel then, all right? Let's see who our first winner will be. Ooh, Melanie! Woohoo! All right, I gotta write this down because I don't want to forget anybody. Okay, Melanie, yay! Okay, who will be number 2? Let's see. Kimberly! Kimberly, woohoo! Yeehaw! All right. And let's choose one more. Ready, set, go. Barbara! Woohoo! And awesome. All right, guys. So that's all the winners. And there is the scan code. Again, if anybody wants to do it, I appreciate you all being here. I would love to work more with any and all of you. And at the same time, I would like to do one thing that we did not get to in our last session because I had crazy power situation going on. But this is going to be something for all of you to take with you so you can all feel like winners walking away. Something intimate and clear and soul level for you. We're going to do a Phoenix word activation for 2026. So this isn't a word that you choose with your mind. It's a word that you receive, a frequency, a compass, a soul instruction that anchors the version of you that's rising in 2026. Earlier today, we began our journey together, standing at the threshold of a new dawn, feeling the horizon of 2026 stirring beneath our feet. And now, as we approach the close of our time together, we're going to return to that threshold. But the energy has changed. You're no longer at the beginning. Now you're inside the initiation. So take another breath, gentle inhale, soft exhale. Close your eyes if you like. Allow your awareness to settle. Imagine yourself once more in that liminal space between what has been and what is becoming. The light of dawn is now warmer, brighter, filled with the fire you've been awakening throughout this session. Before you is a quiet expanse, a landscape shaped not by circumstance, but by your inner world, your truth, your becoming, your soul's readiness. And in the center of this space, you notice a subtle glow, as if something within you is gathering itself and preparing to speak. This time you don't see the phoenix rising. You feel it. A heat in the chest, a widening in the breath, a presence of purpose. This phoenix is your inner fire, your courage, your clarity, your next evolution. As you stand with it, a single word begins to form. In the quiet intelligence of your intuition. This word is your companion for 2026, your anchor, your direction, your reminder of who you are becoming. You don't have to choose it. You only need to receive it. Let the word emerge in its own timing as a whisper, a sensation, an image, or just a knowing. And when it arrives, welcome it. Let it settle into your body, into your field, into the year that awaits you. Once you've got your phoenix word, bring yourself back gently. If you have a word that's come in for you, feel free to drop it in the chat, or if you'd like to keep it private, you could drop an emoji and just let me know you're complete with this. And if you don't have a word just yet, that's totally okay too, because it might just not be ready yet. So be at peace with that. Wait for it. It's going to pop in for you when you least expect it. And if you have that word now, or once you have it, I'm going to invite you to write it down. Put it somewhere you're going to see it often. Write it on your calendar maybe, because you want to let it guide your choices in 2026 and let it redirect you when you do forget. Let it rise let it rise with you when your fire rises. I want to see some of these words because they look really good. Let's see here. Completion and gratitude from Jennifer. Yeah. Ferocity. Ooh, ferocity. I like that. Ferocity. I don't know how you say that. But I like it. Kimberly Quinn, mastery. Sarah Elkins, blazing. Look at all these fire horse words. I like it. Aaron, power. Karen says, I don't understand it, but was very loud expression. Oh, cool, Karen. All right, well, stay with it and see if it starts to form itself into a word for your consciousness. But it's okay if it's just loud and not clear yet. Angela, love. Diana, love. Beautiful. Heather, awaken, arise. Love it. Maria, enlightened. Marlena, embodied. Like that one a lot. I do feel like this is very embodied fire energy. And Dwayne says, supported. Love it. Oh, beautiful, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for stepping into this circle with me, bringing your courage and your presence and your voice and your possibility. 2026 is your Phoenix year. You're ready to rise with it. So I wish all of you a amazing, incredible, wonderful, happy new year. And if there's anybody who has questions, I'm happy to stay on. I put an hour and a half simply because I didn't want you guys to run out of time like we did last time. But I'm very much available for anybody who wants to ask questions or clarify anything. Thank you.
I'm gonna say thank you. I've got to run, but it was fun.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Angela. Thank you. It was great
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Welcome.
Callie, sorry.
Thank you so much, Heather. It was great to see you.
That was really informative. Thank you, Kali-Rose.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to hear that from you. Lots covered there. I know. I know. The key is don't get overwhelmed. That's my one hesitation in sharing so much information at once is I know it can come out as overwhelming, but don't do that to yourself. Just take it day by day, step by step. The energy is going to meet you wherever you're at.
And I don't think I've got the correct pronunciation of your name at the beginning. Are you Kali-Rose or Kali-Rose or
Kali-Rose, good question.
Kali-Rose? Okay.
So Heather knows me as Kelly. That is my given name, and I'm not like I'm giving that up or something like that. It's just I'm stepping into a new version of myself, and Kali really speaks to me. It's I named my business that several years ago at this point because I really resonate with the transformational energy of the Hindu goddess Kali. And that's where that came from. And it just so happens to be quite similar to my given name, which is super confusing. But yeah, and then Rose came in from Mary Magdalene, the feminine Christ, the yin to the yang, and another energy that I really resonate with. So that's how that name came together. And since I was going by Kali-Rose Spirit with Wisdom with my business. I don't even remember who it was, but somebody a year or so ago said, why don't you just go by Kali-Rose?" And I thought, that's an interesting idea. And it's been such a fascinating, like 2025, stepping into that as an identity. I didn't realize, how much it was going to shift in me. Like it just seemed like a random business choice at the time, and it became more than that. So I like chosen names. I think they're fun. And Karen says, I did a tarot reading for the year on New Year's Eve, and it's fascinating to see how these dates line up. The cards I pulled. Totally, Karen. I do an oracle spread on New Year's every year, and I absolutely love like the symbolic nature of oracle and tarot to really bring you into an awareness that comes out of a different part of your mind. It's astrology is kind of very logical and analytical and linear, and I like what it offers. But then at the same time, there's many modalities that can give us insights and wisdom and truth. So I'm all about like use them all because I got some insights from my oracle spread that I would probably not have noticed in my astrology necessarily. But like you say, I mean, a lot of it lines up when I see it, and I just think it grounds it, it deepens it, embodies it in a way that's really powerful. The dates line up with many of the other things I'm listening to. Yeah, I think a lot of times we all are coming at our awareness of energy in different ways, but we're all often coming to the same conclusions. I really like the synchronicity of that. I really like how I see that again and again and again. Marion, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to ask if you could show me, like if I send you a picture of my chart, could you show me how I see where Aries is in my chart?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm happy to do that.
Okay. I sent it in the chat where you sent me the link.
Okay, great. I will take a look for you for sure.
And Kali, I do have to say that this was so helpful because I felt like a fire burning within and just feel a shift going on in my life. And so many things today just confirmed that it almost gave me a timeline because a lot of it aligned up with some things I'm working on. And with the it almost aligns up of how long a process would take. So it just kind of gave me clarification that yes, this is where I need to head. So
Awesome.
this is great. Thank you.
Yeah, now that is what I love about astrology is it really can put words to what we're feeling. So that's sort of the flip side. And yeah, so I'm really happy to hear that, Heather.
Thanks.
And Erin says she's been feeling that too. Yeah, awesome. So that's what I'm hoping out of all of this, that you take away some clarity versus overwhelm, because that's the positive side of it is that you can feel a little more clear. And again, to really think of it like the marathon, that there's a pacing here. The way this this year's energy is set up, it's very divine in my feeling. Like, there's a lovely cushion that kind of gently brings us into this energy, and at the end of the year there's this lovely cushion that takes us out to where we have the middle heart of the year with a lot of things going on. So I think that balance is very much meant to be. And so it's, don't get ahead of yourself, allow yourself to move with the pacing, because then you're going to have a much better experience of it, and you're going to be more successful with it. Anybody who's run a marathon or a half marathon or any kind of distance, if you give you give it too much too soon, you don't have what you need to finish it out, right? So I think it's good to know that there's a pace there for you. Anybody else have questions or anything that's coming up for you? I'd love to hear, kind of how this lands for you guys. Melanie.
Just to truly say thank you, not only for your timing, but I, you know, for you repeating this series and repeating it today so we could join you. And really just wanted to say, Callie, thank you for your incredible gifts, but also just for helping to translate what at times can really feel like the complex into eye level curiosity, so that it's, we can kind of take it at our own pace, and just really just thank you so much for your wonderful gifts. Honored to win one of your sessions and to be in your community. So thanks really for all you're doing. I think my question is, and I'm smiling that the fire horse year is coming. Whatever's happening energetically, I have never been this cold in my entire life. And I'm finding I'm excited because the fire horse, as I picked the word illuminating, it means some warmth is coming. So thank you for that. But you're also helping me understand really from the energy perspective, when my temperature changes, my energy level is changing. And that was something so helpful from our very first conversation. So I really have to thank you for that. Now I know at least, temperature's changing. Just lean into it and try and stay warm. But just thanks for all you do. We really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Melanie. That's such an interesting insight. I'm really fascinated by it. I'd love to talk more about it, but the temperature change, yeah. Yeah, I mean, fire is not just light, it's warmth, it's all the things, right? And I mean, it's absolutely essential to our lives. The sun, is that ultimate fireball in the sky that we have no life on Earth without it. So really, really interesting to think about in cold versus hot. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. And by the way, I'm very happy to have done this as an encore. I know lots of people reached out to me and said, "Oh, I really would have loved to have been there, but I had holiday stuff going on," and I kind of anticipated that. I really liked the threshold energy of being right at the end of the year there, but I really want as many people as possible to have the experience of the session, so that that you can have that clarity. And to that point, I've already started thinking I will probably offer this session again in a few weeks, maybe as we get closer to that big burst of ignition in February. So if you want to do it again, by all means, you're always welcome. You're more than welcome. If you didn't win this time, I'll put you back on the wheel. So, so feel free to show up. I know some people who are on the call today were on it on the 27th as well, and I totally welcome that and appreciate that. Maria.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Nice to see you. It's been a while.
Yes,
And
it has.
I'm really happy I was able to get into this today. And I missed the first one, but I'm really happy I was able to join us. Thank you for your insights. Nice to see the other side of you now.
Yeah. Yeah, Maria knows me as the Montessori school director, so I've morphed quite a bit over the last well, let's see. It's been more than 5 or 6 years since I've
More,
looked
yep.
at you though. It's probably been
Yeah.
7 or 8, I bet.
7 or 8. Yep.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So thank you. Thank you again.
You're
Right.
welcome.
Hope to see you sometime soon.
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye. Anybody else? Insights or thoughts, ideas, questions? All of it is welcome. I love to hear your voices. I love to hear what you guys are thinking, what you're taking out of it. Very inspiring for me, and also just totally illuminating, back to that word, Melanie, because I hadn't really thought about the hot and cold. So
I just think it's very exciting to have kind of a timeline, for when to be expecting some challenges in your life and when to be expecting, I forget what I wrote down. Expect to be like on stage.
yeah, I feel that too. It really kind of helps me to look at the year and go, oh, like I don't have to jump into that, that's
Right,
coming, and I'm going to feel so ready for it when it
right,
arrives, because I'm going to have done all this work in preparation for it.
right. And I won't be surprised when all of a sudden I'm just like in the spotlight on stage and something's happening and I'll be, oh, yeah, this is that.
Yeah. Yeah, the way the energy aligns, it's going to feel good to be in that spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Anybody else? How are we feeling about Q1? I'd love to hear that, since that's the moment we're in.
Let me look back at my notes.
I'm already feeling, I mean, I've been feeling the pull, the, lot of power, a lot of energy. Yeah, definitely been feeling this transition.
Mm-hmm. And does it give you like a little bit of, I don't know, sort of the peace, the exhale to go like, oh, okay, and I still have a couple of months to
Yes, it did do that. I mean, there's things that I feel like, oh, I need them to happen now. I need to make this thing happen now because of other timelines. But yeah, it's like, well, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know you've got lots of big stuff cooking for this year. So.
Yeah, it's a big year.
It is, yeah.
And discovering that, that I was born in the year of the fire horse, and here I am returning to that. And, it's, right. I can feel that energy. I really, really can. I've been feeling it coming for the last month or so.
And you actually proved my point. I realized later as I was doing the math as I was talking, and I was like, oh yeah, because you're turning 60. Duh.
Yeah.
But you don't seem like it. That's what throws me off, Jennifer.
Well, it's my last name. I just blame it on that.
Yeah, that's right. Forever young.
Forever young. Exactly. But thank you, Kali-Rose. This has been, this has been very, very helpful, and very informative, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Wonderful. I'm so
And
glad.
thanks for doing this other session because I couldn't make it to the other one.
I know, right? So yeah, I know. And it's awesome to me to see 20 people on the Encore session, by the way, guys. So like I'm so excited, how much interest is out there, and that you guys trust me to share this information with you. Thank you so much for that, because just it is an amazing year. And I like I say, I want as many people to consciously have the awareness of that as possible, because then you can do the as much as you possibly can with it, right? Dwayne also says you don't look anything near 60. See, agreed.
Thank you.
So does everybody feel good about that quarter 1 sort of giving you a little space to prepare yourself for all this initiation stuff that's coming online? Anybody have any thoughts yet about, what does that look like for you in quarter 1? How you're gonna embrace this moment of internalizing it?
I think it's told me I could slow down. I don't have to try to speed up everything in quarter 1. That
We
was.
can't hear you very well, Dwayne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're kind of
Is it
quiet.
better? Oh, hold on. That'll work. Probably the amp was down. Um, yeah. So like when the first of the year, I just was like go 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 go. But like what it allowed me from the last time was just that it's a process, and the process is like I don't have to do everything all in one day.
Yeah, I know that's a big relief to me. I've got a lot of Aries energy myself, and so my instinct, I suppose, is like I have to do it all, and I have to do it all now. So there's something very calming to my nervous system to see it laid out like this, and to say, okay, it doesn't all have to be done right now. I can step into this at a comfortable pace. Yeah. And Melanie says, leaning into new lenses and reflections. I would love. Oh, you're talking to Robin about, yeah, Gemini and Venus and curiosity. I like that. Yeah, it's definitely a Gemini kind of word.
It really does align though with, your description of, the crossing the threshold part, which has really been something I'm really feeling like rocking to the core. And the reason why I mentioned to Robin about Gemini, I didn't pay much attention to Gemini. My dad's been on the other side of the threshold, pushing with some really positive, joyful energy. And he was the Gemini. So I'm kind of looking at both sides of the coin, as opposed to, I guess, his encouragement to look at, the sides of the twins. And I think it's really where the eye level stuff is happening. It's really changing how I'm showing up as a coach and how I'm getting ready to show up this year. But I find in this process of crossing the threshold, I closed off my calendar. It's not something I usually ever do. But I knew I really needed to lean in with some intentionality and some breath work. So really just really appreciating everybody's comments and your fabulous energy. And thanks again, Callie.
Awesome. Awesome. I like it. So yeah, you've already cleared your calendar going like, I need some internalization time. I like it. Yeah, I think that's you're setting a good example for everyone here, to like really dial it back just a little bit in January, and don't leap ahead of it, and allow it to come in a way that is going to align with your nervous system, and in a way that's going to set you up for what is coming in February. So I'm also looking at my calendar and going, okay, I have already these things on it. Let's not keep adding right now.
I think that's interesting because I closed off my calendar in December and just took a break.
Mm-hmm. Good for
So
you.
I haven't opened it up yet again, so I'm still thinking about doing that this next week. But anyway,
Yeah. And there you go. You haven't opened it up again because you're still thinking like, am I done
yeah,
with this period yet? And maybe I'm not, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, it's a little after 11:30, so I think I'm going to let you all go. And absolutely feel free to reach out to me if you do have any questions that are coming up. If you do even just want to chat, I'm always open for that. And I will see you all in 2026. I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing together.
One more question,
Yes,
Kali-Rose.
ma'am.
Will you send the replay to everyone who registered?
I will, yes.
Okay.
I will reach out to all of you by email because you're registered through Zoom. I have your email addresses, so I will
Yes.
send you the replay. And I'll send you the link to my slides too. So even if you
Okay.
didn't ask for it,
Yeah, and my daughter logged in kind of late, so and I know she had to register to get on, so I was hoping that you would send the replay to her.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I think I saw you send a separate email,
Yes.
separate message about Savannah, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I will make sure she gets it too.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody take care. Happy 2026.
Thank
Okay,
you.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.